in terms of metrics, if you look at the scale of the investment, it's quite significant. I think if you can see what we're seeing is the actual investment is very significant as you move towards the 2030 period. Most of the infrastructure has already been set up. So quite a few states have the physical infrastructure in place now. It could be water reservoirs, tanks, and the likes, and the piping infrastructure. So now the tenders are coming out for smart water solutions. It could be meters, sensors, and the likes. So going forward, this is when we see the significant investment coming up for smart water quality and quantity monitors. And as I mentioned earlier, you're looking at 3 different packages: the basic package, the intermediate, and the advanced package. This is dependent on the number of households in each of the villages. So if it is a relatively smaller village with very few households, they will be having a basic package. And, depending on the population or the number of households increasing, that kind of moves up. And it includes smart water metering, sensors for flow level, and also quality monitoring, and in some cases, companies also providing kits. And at a very national level is how you can provide, and even state level, data visualization and analytics platforms for state authorities to have access to the information that these facilities are operating and providing the outcomes that are expected of them, and also support in any kind of maintenance or related issues as well going forward. 3 companies who joined us in a webinar actually a month ago. It was on July 3rd when we did a webinar on this company, on this topic. We had Tata Trusts, and Tata Trust has been quite, I would say, pioneering in this space. So we had a member of Tata Trust talking through the process, and they actually built the architecture of the Jal Jeevan mission. So it was driving pilots in close to 100 villages. What is the ground level reality when it comes to water services, and what kind of product solutions will be needed to have this real-time water quality and quantity monitoring in these villages, right from the solution design, what are the kind of hardware requirements there, as well as what are the kind of frameworks that need to be placed here, and some of the communication protocols that are required to take this forward. So they've been quite instrumental in taking this forward, and also setting up the pilot dashboard at a national level. And I think they got the ball rolling is what I would say. And now we see a momentum which is gradually taking shape. Of course, the objective was to reach 100% coverage by 2024. When I spoke to the Jal Jeevan mission a couple of weeks ago, I think they were still, what should I say, optimistic, because that's the end goal they want to reach. I think right now it's around 60 to 70%. Is what it is. So that it's around 40%, but some of the large states, there's still quite a significant gap that needs to be met. And this is not, by 2024, we will not have the smart water grid established, but at least the provision of water to every single rural household is the goal by 2024. And then we will start seeing the investment being rolled out on smart water quality and quantity monitors in this. Another use case I wanted to highlight is we had Prabhu Stavnath, the founder of Refill Bot, who joined us. And this is very interesting as a use case. Refill Bot provides the hardware for monitoring of water quality and quantity in these areas. And they've set it for 100 villages right now in the state of Karnataka. And that service is actually provided to the state government. And that's the example I was talking where even Prabhu was mentioning that with this kind of a solution, they can support the state government, the government of Karnataka, to actually save on the significant amounts that they end up spending on auditing of water services in villages. People have been following the news in Bangalore, the Bangalore Metropolitan Council, or even the state has mentioned, they do not have funds to drive development projects for this year. So the purses of the public entities are quite stretched right now. The priorities are quite a lot. So, by driving these kind of solutions of, the real-time monitoring of water quality and quantity in some of these villages, how can even the state establishments actually save when it comes to auditing expenses and redirect some of that money in other causes that it can go. So the refill bot one is quite an exciting pilot right now in 100 villages, but they're looking to scale up. In the next couple of years, they're even looking at driving this 500 to 1,000 villages in the next 2 to 3 years. It's quite an exciting startup company doing this. Another company which joined us, we had Santosh joining us from Drop by Drop. And Drop by Drop is like it's like hardware vendor neutral architecture platform designer for the water sector. Very focused in smart water metering, and Santosh has I think his vision is to support especially tier 2 and tier 3 smart water metering companies, not the tier 1 companies, right? So the tier 2 and tier 3 smart water metering companies will lack the visualization platform and how Drop by Drop can come on its own. And as part of the Jal Jeevan mission, Drop by Drop has actually established the platform for the Jal Shakti ministry. So that's the one which you see on the right hand side. And that's something which Drop by Drop will be looking to enhance as it goes forward as well. And this is my last slide, and then I'll open it up to questions and the discussion. Because as I was mentioning, it's not just the quality of water that we need to monitor when we provide these water to the rural households. It's the quality of water as well. Issues such as bacteriological contamination, Chandra was mentioning about the heavy metals as well. So it's extremely important to see how we can provide some of these toolkits for these communities. So we had Piquant, which is a South Korean company, who joined our webinar a month ago, and they were talking about the water scanner. It's quite, as you can see, it's very compact, a tool kit or a product which can be used on site for bacteriological contamination, right? So I think these products will be quite instrumental in ensuring that we drive capacity building as well as getting communities with the skills as well as the tools that are necessary, that once they have the provision of water, they also are capable to monitor the water quality and see how the service is actually meeting the end goal of not just providing water, but also providing it in a safe and secure manner.